All right, we got a JoshCast panel right here. This is rare. The show is growing. My unpopularity is growing. We have on the right of me, we have Bill Miller, who's been on the show. It's been a long time. We have Will Fitz, who ran the show tonight. Of course, me. Oh, we have a Christmas elf at the end. Yes, right behind. Oh, what are you pointing at? Say?
You just always keep your eyes on the camera.
Oh yeah, I'm drunk right now.
Look at the blue light.
Oh yeah, I know what the webcam is. Yeah, and we have John, Hedonist John, and Jabor is right behind. I guess he's producing the show now, but he'll be in it. We can't fit everybody. This stage is very small. Think of it like a typical Northeast room, but this is a conference room. Listen, this is girls don't like it. I'm sorry, cunts don't like it when you tell them how to act. But when they tell guys how to act, I'm offended by that.
You undercut everything you say by being
Well, listen, this is
it's refreshing.
JoshCast.
It's a little refreshing. There's no hope for me anyway, so walk
Well, the thing is, I would never talk to a female comic. Like, I don't talk to them. Only one here that I've known since I've started, but she doesn't talk to me anymore.
The lady, the closer tonight?
No, she's my favorite female comic. Her name is Ann Smith. You were the MC. How long was her set? About 10, right?
Oh God, no, 14.
14.
She, if you count all the pauses and I mean, I had to play about a minute of music before she ruffled through her stuff to get on stage, and then there was another minute or two of ruffling through stuff on stage, and then the performance. And she wasn't here when I gave my little pro tip and stuff of if you want to be heard on the microphone, you have to talk.
Well, you don't realize that she is some sort of mental illness.
No, I get that.
And on top of that, she's been doing it before I started. She's always done that. She chews gum, and you can't really hear what she says. And on top of that, she mumbles. Plus, she's away from the mic. So I think she's purposely not trying to be heard, which that's why I said she's my favorite female comic without trying.
I thought it was a bit. This is the only second time I've seen it. The first time I saw it, I was like, wait, what? Because I was trying to write out there, and they were like, oh, wait till you see the headliner.
Yeah, no Andy Kaufman transcendent thing, whatever. It's just
Tim and Eric.
Yeah, they just let anybody
apparently
do this.
But she's been coming here before I started. She always goes on last. And apparently it's not a bit because the bartender who knows her, he said hi to her once in the store, and she went, oh, and she ran away. So it can't be a bit if that happened outside of comedy.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
No. There's certain comics that, like, you know, the older guy that comes here, Chris Kiley, he does the one-liner. He seems like he's kind of a character. But Ann Smith is not a character. That is Ann Smith. Which is why I love Ann Smith. That's why I always give her a chant. Ann Smith. Because I like the fact that comics walk out of her set like they're so much better. Like, oh, I'm better than this. And it's like, no offense, but Ann Smith, maybe for the wrong reasons, makes me laugh sometimes harder than anybody else. For the wrong reasons.
Well, were they walking out because they were better or because it was...
Well, no, because they walk...
10 minutes and...
No, but even comics who go here for the first time walk out, so like, after 2 minutes, they're like, what the fuck is going on, right? And they walk out, but they do it almost like with a chip on the shoulder, like, I'm getting out of here. But I think it's funny. I love seeing people's first reaction to Ann Smith.
Well,
she's a legend here.
I like cutting it up with the fellas. When I see everyone leave, I'm like, I just want to cut it up with them before they go. And that just happens to be when Ann Smith is up here. But I appreciate Ann Smith.
Ann Smith is awesome. She only goes here and nowhere else.
Good for her.
Yeah. Like me. I'm not much better. I only go here and nowhere else.
You're banned.
Well, yeah, I'm emotionally banned. I can go other places. Like I was talking to this black comic tonight, Aaron Bell, and I told him, I was like, I saw him at a city open mic, and I saw him look in my direction, look away, so he said hi to me tonight. I told him, I saw you look at me. He's like, no, I didn't see it. And I was like, I thought to myself, this piece of shit city comic, he's too good to talk to me now. And he just looked at me like, I never thought he liked that. And I was like, but that's how I think, though.
Well, I talked to him out there. He seemed like a nice guy.
He's a nice guy, but he's never done anything wrong to me. But I have that mentality. So, because comics do act different around their clique. You know, like when I go down to the city, some comics see me, and they won't say hi to me because I got a bad reputation. But then here, when they don't know anybody, they're like, "Hey, Joshy boy, where you been? I don't know anybody else here. How you doing?" Well, they don't say that Italian, but I'm just being out.
But no, that is the mentality in the city. Like guilty by association. You can. We'll fix it.
We'll move everything
put
back.
the room back together.
It was not my idea. Aren't you glad we did it though?
Our mom just walked in.
She's pissed.
Like, you better move all this shit back. Yes, we will. We will move everything back. It was not my idea, but this is the first. I actually like this idea because we never put a table. I was so nervous to use this
pretty
room.
cool.
Josh, we
It is
we made your basement into the Northeast Comedy Cabaret.
I wish, because I used to watch that 70s show. I used to be like, when I tell people to leave my parents' basement, that sounds cool because they're thinking of that 70s show.
Right.
But I don't have that. You know, like I have a nice setup. I have my own bathroom,
I do.
which is great.
I have.
Yeah, I see your
I got
setup.
the wood paneling.
You got all these animals and all this shit. It's cool.
Aquariums.
But I don't have friends coming over. I don't have a redheaded chick riding my dick. I don't have nice parents. Like, well, his parents weren't nice, but
No, wait, you looked at him when you said redheaded chick riding.
No.
Are you
I'm trying to
picturing
include
as a
him in the
redheaded
gestures.
chick, or do you?
No.
I appreciate Laura Papon.
Lord Pizziotti was.
Right, I heard her name.
Oh, okay.
From that
Yeah,
70s. Donna Pizziotti. Donna.
It's close. You look like Kelso. I can't do the voice though.
That's a compliment. That's a
What
good.
kind of- yeah, he's a handsome fella.
He's an
The
underwear
hair,
model. That
the
guy.
hair though.
Yeah, it's the hair.
Did you know? Fun fact for you, that 70s show fans, that Ashton Kutcher was like 20 and she was like 15.
14.
I did know she was young.
Yeah.
I didn't know she's that young.
That's hot.
Here's a
That's
real
just
fun fact.
fucking hot.
What is his first name?
Ashton Kutcher.
What's his real first name?
Ash from Ketchup.
I don't
Christopher.
I didn't know that.
Just like Topher Grace, what's his first name?
I thought it was
Gopher.
Topher Grace.
It's Chris Topher. They're both
Chris
Christopher.
Topher. Oh, he went by something different. He had to be cool. See, those
That's actually not, that's actually what their names were.
You know, I don't know why we keep talking about that 70s show. Speaking of that, when I dry hump my bed, did I tell you guys that video? The first video I ever shot has currently over 500,000 views. Somebody just commented the other day. That 70s show happened to be on. Someone just left me this comment the other day. They're like, I remember that episode of that 70s show. The neighbor Bob was having the Veterans Day sale. They remember the whole episode just by the 20 seconds of me humping the bed, which I thought was pretty fun. So,
Did you guys see the thing on the Netflix, the Adam Sandler, Chris Farley song?
No, I saw an article about it, but I didn't read it.
I thought about bringing it up, but there was so much stuff going on tonight. It's this really beautiful, heart-wrenching song about how much he loves and misses Chris Farley.
it's supposed to make you sad. Is it anything funny in it, or is it just?
Oh no, it's hilarious.
Does
It's him saying he's the funniest dude, and then it's and then he started losing his shit, and we said you're gonna end up like Belushi and Candy. He's like, but they're my idols, so it's okay if I end up like them. I like just watching them.
I heard that like Chris Farley's last couple of years, he was on coke and he was always the funny guy, but he was like sweating when he was on a die on stage, and everybody wanted to save him. Everyone just laughed, and no one did nothing about it. They're like, "Well, this is Chris Farley." They knew he was dying.
There was the thing they
knew he was gonna have a heart
attack.
attack. We actually, sorry to keep talking. I'm drunk, so I'm gonna keep cutting off my guests like a dick, and then I'll listen back to this. But if you watch his Tonight Show appearance, he was just everyone was like, "That guy's on coke."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I've seen a whole bunch of things, but they talked to his dad because his dad was like a big heavy drinker, and they were like, "Yo, Chris is gonna die. You need to, we're good, but when he goes back home with you, he's drinking constantly."
Yeah.
And his dad was like, "Well, I'm not gonna stop my drinking. I'm not gonna tell my son to stop his drinking." And they were like, "Are you fucking serious?" He's like, "Yeah." They're like, "Your drinking is more important than your son." He's like, "No, I love my son, but I'm a grown man. I'm not gonna stop drinking."
That's my daddy.
But also, though,
His dad was like 600 pounds.
That's a good indicator, though, that he's the wrong guy to tell Chris to stop drinking, because it'd be like a hypocrite shit. And if his friends already told him that, and he's like, "Hey, it sounds good to me, being like Belushi, cool." You can't get help if you don't want help. I mean, that's like a general thing in rehab and all that. That you have to want to get better to go anywhere with.
It's kind of like going to other mics.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't see the Sandler thing, but does he do his crazy ass voices for the song? We just have to wake up.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. I wanted to. I thought about playing it here, but we don't have the capabilities because I don't have my laptop is filming.
Well, I can play it on my phone, but I don't want to get a copyright strike from YouTube. You never know.
YouTube.
No, they don't give me a copyright strike, but they're saying you included copyrighted content.
It's good because he even talks about how you're gone and you're dead, but my kids watch your movies and my kids are laughing.
Oh yeah.
And if this stuff didn't happen, we'd be on a plane right now filming Grown Ups 3.
Yeah, Chris
Like,
Farley would have still been.
Kevin James would be out of work if Chris Farley
That's
was
true.
still
That's
alive.
amazing. I love
That's
that
so
idea.
true.
He would-
A world without Kevin James is a nice world to have.
Working back at UPS. Yeah, Chris Farley, mall cop. Oh,
He probably would have been. What was it? Beverly Hills
such a better
Ninja?
pitch.
Was that the last movie he did?
Zookeeper might actually have been good if it was Chris Farley.
It was the one where it was like
That was Dirty
Lois
Work.
and Clark.
Was it Dirty Work?
Oh, it was Dirty Work.
I think it was Dirty
For
Work.
what was the question?
I said his last movie.
It was Dirty Work.
Yeah, it was
When
Dirty Work. That's one of my favorite movies.
Prostitute bites off his nose.
At least I didn't
Shut
get my
your
nose-
cake hole, Yoko!
At least I didn't get my nose bit off by a Saigon whore.
You bastard! It's fucking perfect.
It's awesome. Yeah, Chris, what's it called? Not Black Sheep, the other one.
Tommy Boy.
Tommy was one of my favorites as a kid. I had it on DVD. I used to watch it all the time. When I said to the show.
To Chris Farley and a Merry
Hey, to Chris
Christmas.
Farley.
That 70
Bill
show, Chris
Bradstreet.
Farley. Go ahead, Bill. What do you got to say?
Just want to get comfortable.
Get comfortable. Now, those paint, is that paint on the shoes? Is that on purpose?
Well,
or is
some
that
of
just
these
style?
are paints. We got paint,
Oh.
but I dropped bleach on this shoe, and I'm like, ah, shit. Now I got to make the other one match.
That looks cool.
So that's what
Actually,
I
yeah.
thought. I was like, yeah, that looks pretty neat.
But the way Black's dressed looks like something an NBA player would wear at their press conference.
Yeah, it does.
You know how they wear like, I like watching NBA players at the press conference. They wear like a space suit or some shit, and they wear shorts with a long coat, and they just show up all serious and be like, yeah, well, I have the ball, and everyone takes them seriously.
And
I know that makes me racist, everybody, but does anybody listen to this show?
didn't they do something about that, like on the Jordan Peele and
Probably.
Key and Peele thing?
I've already seen a few episodes of that show.
What exactly? I didn't
Like
think
where they had the silly guy, or like the sports guys in the silly outfit.
Well, that was.
I'm sure they have.
Like they
It sounds like
exaggerated
they
it.
do.
They did the draft picks and stuff where they do all the voices like Murgatross Kittle, Lather Down, Turns Trojan, like it just they all had.
Dabba Bob, Philip Flop,
And they come out with their charges.
Jarvin Puchishis.
Yeah, see, those guys stole David Chappelle's act, according to him. His old Chappelle show.
Oh yeah.
That's what he said. He said, two guys do
Oh
it.
yeah. Now I watch other guys do what I did or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I love Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle's great.
Number
Sure
one.
is. I haven't seen his Netflix special. I don't watch comedy specials anymore.
That's an interesting thing. I've never thought of them ripping off Chappelle. I've never really thought about that.
They weren't that
Could
similar.
be something there, but I don't.
There was
think
elements,
so.
but I don't think there was that.
Because they've been doing that shit since.
Yeah, it's Mad TV. I used to watch them on Mad
There's
TV.
similar stuff even back
It's-
then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot of the same stuff, and it's probably just parallel thinking or whatever. They're
Sketch comedy.
not Amy.
You're black?
Not Amy Schumer.
That's my thing.
Dave Chappelle invented black sketch comedy. I don't know if you know that.
He
No, actually, no, Living Color did. But before that,
So the Wayne's family did.
yeah, the Wayne's family.
Collectively.
Big Dave Chappelle before that was like, that motherfucker stole my shit. I was doing that shit on stage and fucking Keenan Ivory Wayne.
Have you ever watched?
Excuse me, I'm doing an impression for him. This is Bob.
Have you ever like sat and watched them in college? It's fucking amazing.
It is.
Like, I was in college and I found the DVDs in the library and I was like, holy shit, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Because you can't do any of the you can't do any of their shit today. Was it Homie?
Homie
the
don't play
Clown.
that.
No, the Homie the Clown.
Yeah, Homie Don't Play That, yeah.
But there was the one that was like a self-help thing, like how to get money and how to like rob people. It's like
Yeah.
it's called like the Ghetto Bank or something. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah.
It's great. And at the very end, like the cops show up, like we're out of here.
There's a lot of funny shit. I grew up watching shows like that.
and who could forget about the white guy?
Jim Carrey.
Hey.
That guy went insane.
Yeah.
Venus de Milo would be transphobic now, and the Damon Wayans, the homeless guy with the pickle jar, like with the turd in the pickle
That
jar,
was my
like
fucking
that would be
favorite.
mocking the homeless, even though
Yeah.
Chappelle still did it too with Tyrone. Like it's just everything. Even Chappelle's going to be.
Here's a question for the panel. Should Pete Davidson kill himself? Bill, go ahead.
Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson.
The ex-fiance of
The guy who's on
Ariana
Saturday Night.
Grande.
Pete
Yes.
Davidson killed Mac Miller. Here's what really happened. I'll break it down for you. I have my theories. Pete Davidson was dating Ariana Grande, getting that Mexican pussy. Everything was great. All of a sudden, Mac Miller kills himself. She breaks up with Pete Davidson. So Pete Davidson goes on Instagram and goes, "I don't feel like living anymore. I don't want to live in this world anymore." So he can get back with her, but she was just going to send some friends over to check on him. And Pete Davidson's 25 years old. I keep thinking about how young he is. He's only 25. He's on SNL. He's an established comic. Yeah, he's an established comic. He was banging Ariana Grande. He doesn't want to live in the world anymore. I'm in Northeast Philly right now, you fuck! Bombing on a podcast no one's listening to. Fuck you. Kill yourself, you fucking tweaker-looking bitch.
Did he kill himself?
No, he should. I hope he does. Because he has no appreciation towards life. Oh, your dad died in 9/11. Guess what?
Oh,
he never would have made it to the next level.
That's
he
that
never
guy.
would have made it to the next
He
level.
also insulted a one-eyed war vet candidate. He was a Republican
SEAL.
candidate.
Yeah.
But just like, how'd you lose your eye? You look like
A
Snake Plissken
hitman in a porno.
Yeah.
Hitman in a porno. I apologize.
Who gives a fuck? I don't give a fuck about that. You hear me? I don't give a fuck. You stay alive, you young man. I like you.
Fuck that guy.
There's a lot of reasons I don't like him. I don't get it. I don't get the shtick. I don't like that. I'm just gonna sit here and vape and like be a fucking.
You know, like the thing is,
16-year-old kid, but I'm 25.
No, he's the new Jimmy Fallon because he breaks
That's not
in
a
bits
compliment.
too.
That's not a compliment.
He doesn't do
No, that's
impressions.
what I mean. That's
Right.
just like how Jimmy Fallon, like where it was like, oh, he's about to laugh, and Lauren Michaels hated that. But at the same time, he's like, I want ratings. I need a new Jimmy Fallon.
That's not a good impression.
And he gets the guy that's just like it, but it's also like, well, you know, diversity is more important too, and you're just like this white kid, but you raise awareness to mental illness, because even before the Ariana Grande thing, he said he was going to kill himself, that he's bipolar and constantly depressed, and so it's like, that's his thing. We got a depressed guy.
Because being depressed is cool in our generation.
It's fucking.
It's so
SNL.
fucking cool.
There's so many people that had depression or substance abuse problems. Or
But he's vocal
history.
about it. He's made it his identity, which that's part of as we see the comedy scene, big city comedy.
Yeah.
You gotta.
It's a cheat.
No, women say they find him attractive. I don't want to sound gay. I don't check out other guys, but he looks so fucking weird to me. He looks like he's dying.
Yeah,
He's,
he
like,
does.
he's got really
And-
pale pigment skin.
and
He
the
dyed his hair
bags under the
blonde.
eyes.
He looks like a guy you'd meet off Craigslist 3 in the morning to buy a meth lab off of, which is not a bad identity women like, but he's
You
so
buy a
weird.
meth lab or something? I thought you could just buy.
Well, yeah, you
lab.
can if you have that kind of money. You can. I thought there.
You just make your own meth.
Yeah.
Sure. They didn't break it bad. They made their own meth lab.
I like that meth mom used to make. That home cooked shit.
Anyways, fuck Pete Davidson, kill yourself.
Oh,
and it sounds mean to say that, but seriously, like, oh my God, I'm so depressed. There's people out there way worse lives than him, and he always felt that way. And it's like if his dad never would have died, I don't think he would be where he is. I think he would be maybe featuring some shows, but I don't think he would be on SNL and on FX and all that. That's
How did
It's
he
a
get
shame.
How did he get the SNL gig?
Someone
you
told me they
auditioned.
did a movie with somebody, and they were like, "You would be good on SNL," and then they got him an audition. He passed. So he doesn't do characters though. So
Yeah, who's Kyle Mooney and the other plain-looking white guy that looks like a blonde
Jason
version of
something.
Why am I forgetting his name? It's B.
But-
Jason Bateman.
No.
No, but he looks
know.
he looks like a baby-faced blonde version of Rob Riggle, but those two
Yeah, he does.
were LA comics together, and Pete Davidson was in the background for stuff. So it's like, hey, we got a third friend. We could be like the new Lonely Island crew.
Yeah, but have you seen like their old YouTube stuff?
Oh, yes,
They're
they're-
actually. I was gonna say they was decent.
But
I
Kyle
mean-
Mooney's funny, but
Just small like YouTube video. I was not really the content, but the fact that they were one of the early YouTube sketch comedians.
wait,
To that,
are we now talking about Lonely Island? Because they did it before that. Like
then that might be something that I'm not aware of that.
Okay.
Because I was looking at
yeah,
old Kyle Mooney stuff. I didn't know that he's been doing shit for so long.
Yeah, but even Kyle Mooney's been doing that, but that's even longer than that. Before him was Andy Samberg, Jorma Tacone, and who's
The other one.
The other guy.
Akiva.
Yeah.
Akiva, Yorma, and Andy.
Yeah, so those three were doing it, but the other two were just writers, and then they sort of were featured in the music video stuff they did for Digital Short.
And then Yorma
now-
got on Land of the Lost.
Thank you guys for sharing the history of YouTube. Now suck my dick.
Yeah.
Can't do
Sorry,
that on
that's not
YouTube.
nice. That's a terrible way to treat my guest.
It's Red. That's
I
a
was,
red
I
tube
don't know
thing.
why.
I thought we were going to end it well on the Chris Farley, yay, Chris Farley.
Chris Farley is my
And
hero.
then you bust out some, you want to end on some more racism?
Well, I guess the show's still early.
I have a story about Chris Farley's death.
Were you there? Where were you? Where were you when Chris Farley died? I'll tell you, Bill. I was in school, and my teacher came in and said, "I just saw Beverly Hills Ninja," and then she said, "Did you know Chris Farley just died?" And I didn't watch the news back then because I was playing Sega Genesis all night, and I was like, "What? He died?"
When
like
did
a
he
faggot.
die? Like, what
He
year?
died when I was a kid, so I had to be in the
Maybe I feel like
90s.
it's the 70s.
He died in the 90s.
95,
Yeah, so
96, maybe.
But I was in the 90s. I'm not that old asshole.
I'm playing the Sega Genesis. My teacher came up, but I didn't know about the news.
I didn't watch the news. Why would I watch the news? I'm a kid.
When you described it, I was like,
No.
I pictured the 70s.
No. 70 sounded like a great place. There wasn't no PC correctness. There was hookers.
No.
And you had to be a nice guy to get laid. It sounded like a great place to be. I would love to be in this older generation.
There's Travis Barker over here.
And rape wasn't bad.
No, because of the game console you mentioned, you have to say Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Chris Farley found dead in his piss.
Oh shit.
Now, Bill, I cut you off. I'm sorry, sir.
It's all right.
I'm going to say.
I was at a party, and it was a party that I didn't know anyone there. So I'm just hanging out, waiting to buy weed, and it was like a family party, and there was this old guy, and there was a bunch of firemen and a bunch of cops.
Always an old guy at a party.
Fucking old guys at this party, man. So he we're watching the Flyers game or some shit, and he walks in, and I make a funny comment about one of the hockey moves,
Okay.
and he's like, that's pretty funny. And he pulled out his phone, and he showed me a picture of a dead black guy on the concrete with a bunch of cops surrounding him and a puddle of blood. I was like, whoa, that's pretty edgy. Here, hold on. Here, and I was like, look at this, and I showed him my phone, and it was Chris Farley's death photo where he's all purple and yeah, it's like, whoa, what are you showing? I was like, I thought you were edgy.
Just for context, this was not when he died. This was long after he died.
Yeah,
this was like 2 months
So I was like,
ago.
wait,
Because
hold
you're
on, he died
talking
in
about
95.
with-
Yeah, but he was at a party when he was 7. There was an old guy there
Yeah,
trying
that's
to
why I was
fuck
trying to do the math in my head. I was like,
and full display phones that you can look up pictures
Yeah.
on. Yeah. He flipped open his Motorola Razr and he's like, "Hey son, here, take a look at this."
And besides, he's not edgy because he only likes to show pictures of black people dead. That's why.
He told
He
me
showed a
he's
white
like,
guy dead.
my son did that. I'm like, oh wow, it looks like a lot of paperwork. That's very nice. Oh, his son was a cop.
What a bunch of fun topics tonight,
I
guys.
know.
That's all my fault. I didn't plan for this. We just wanted to shoot some stuff, give you more live content out there, because that's what I do. I provide content that nobody wants to hear, but content.
Hey, let's talk about what do they call that circle jerk when a bunch of fellas?
Ookie Cookie,
Okey cookie.
Limp Biscuit,
Usually
aka
like a couple fellas.
AKA Limp Biscuit,
Limp biscuit. That's why do they call it limp biscuit?
because the biscuit gets soggy and limp from all the semen.
Now that's what I want.
Whoa.
That's what I want to talk about.
That's where that name came
You
from.
see, I wouldn't choose anything that would be absorbent. I would, what I would do is and now I haven't done this, but I've been thinking about it because it's funny.
Is it a food item that's not
Yeah.
that you're looking for?
Yeah.
I think the cookie was just, it creates icing. I've
It
never
does.
heard of Limp Biscuit.
Limp biscuit's gross.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, right?
I'll go with
It's just, it must
Just
be
make fun
it
of
must be a
fritters.
West Coast thing because that's I guess what
Florida
they
thing.
call it, a Florida thing.
Yeah.
Oh, he's from Florida.
That's apparently
Can't you tell if you're a
Tampa Bay. Anyway, I would go with a Triscuit, something that less exorbitant. You know, that way you're chewing it more. You
Nobody
know.
wants to eat like.
No, there's that one guy that pretends he doesn't want to eat it, but he eats it.
You don't want exorbitant amounts.
No, you know what you do? It should be a Nutter Butter because it would be a cookie with the peanut butter on it, which
And a
is.
nut.
But yes, the wordplay works. Plus, the peanut butter on it would actually be an oil barrier against the other moisture on top of it.
What about like a sweet and sour sauce? Everyone came in the sweet and sour sauce, and then everyone gets to dip.
Well, that's already sour, so why should
No,
I
it's
think
sweet, salty and sour.
I think you're
Yeah.
talking about egg drop soup.
Egg drops.
That's what it looks like. It looks like a bowl of eggs and jism.
At my job, they usually give you a gift card and give you cash. Not every job, some do if you're lucky. They gave me peanut butter cookie mix, like no cookies, just peanut butter cookie mix from Betty Crocker. And I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Make cookies out of it. That's the cheapest gift ever. I'd rather get nothing. Just give me a fucking candy cane and a card, you know.
The $2 for $1 at Rite Aid, by the way. That is the price.
Ah, fuck that. I don't want fucking peanut butter. Give me a fucking real cookie. I'm gonna give you some. I gotta make it myself. What kind of gift is that?
Like, what was this joke about my weight that you think, oh, this guy likes?
No, they gave it to everybody.
No, I'm just cheap. They
gave it to everybody.
I mean it.
Yeah, they gave everybody. They gave it. That's so cheap, man.
I'm trying to think of what other foods are good to ejaculate onto. I'm starting to get drawing blank.
A ham.
Well, it's
glazed.
Glazed. That's the obvious one, right?
Everybody. Merry Christmas.
Do you have running bits like themes between episodes?
This is a running bit.
You can have one go from each episode and find a sexual thing and try to redo it and make it more effective.
We could do it. I'm down to do whatever. I mean,
I think you have fixed the concept of the ookie cookie to make it a nutter butter.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, but see, that doesn't fit. I thought the running theme on this show was racism and not getting any.
Yeah, it is. Not getting any. Shout out to any MGTOWs watching this. My MGTOW channel has 224 subscribers. I get new. Well, I love explaining this to the new guys. It's men going their own way. You've probably seen the acronym. It's MGTOW. You've probably seen it, but you never just, because it's out there.
Is it an asexual thing?
It's like a sister group of incels.
A sister group. I wouldn't call them sisterhood. Be careful. They're watching us. They will trash you, Wolfits. They will trash you. You're not far away from being a MGTOW. You're not far away from being a MGTOW yourself, there, buddy.
Men going their own way.
So it sounds gay, but it's guys who are just fed up with female nature and their behavior, and they decide to just not get married, not pursue her, don't give them attention, don't give them any resources, just leave them alone, and they make videos about them. So I've been making videos about all my bad experiences about girls for like the last 4 months.
So it's just like day 2. I have not had sex with a woman.
No, it's not.
Day 14.
It's not about having sex with a woman. It's more about, because some of the guys have been married and they got divorced and they got cheated on or manipulated, so they're angry. And then there's only very few young guys, but I talk about, because I did the PUA thing, the pickup artist thing for 10 years, and I got rejected and I got treated like shit on top of that. And on top of that, other guys I know, like Will over here, is a sweetie pie, who he doesn't like when I talk about his personal life, but he just took a shot at my MGTOW, so here you go, buddy. He gets dates, but he doesn't get further than that. But he's not angry about it like I am. So I talk about all this stuff, and there's all the guys that they're like minded.
I mean, there's annoying stuff, but it's also like, how is that going to help? And just be like, you know what? Screw these women. I don't need them.
Well, it's not going to help, but it's more of like when you want to give up, that guys have a problem with that for some reason. Like, who cares?
I like how Will's hat has a drop of symbiote, and it. That's a fucking.
Well, listen.
It's a
Venom. Were you trying to connect that back to the ookie cookie thing of saying symbiote going on top of?
Oh my God, that's brilliant! I love the way your mind works.
Well, listen. Elliot Rodgers is a great guy. Elliot Rodgers killed himself, and he ran over a bunch of people. So I just want to say, Elliot Rodgers, you're one of my heroes, buddy.
If you're not doing anything, we really wish Pete Davidson would stop being alive.
Yeah.
But that might take care of itself.
It's just like one of the guys that shot up one of the schools. He said that. Listen, can I wait a minute, man?
He said, I heard voices in my head.
He wasn't a
MK Ultra.
He wasn't a MGTOW, but
Machine Gun Kelly.
He wasn't a MGTOW, but he was one of these guys.
Look into it.
That he said that he saw this guy he didn't like in school. He thought was a douchebag.
Right.
He didn't know douchebags get laid. And he was dating all these girls. He's like, I don't understand why these girls are dating him, but they won't date me. And he was angry.
He talked like Mr. Miyagi.
Well, listen, that's just my impression of him. I don't know what he is. I don't know what he was. I'm going by what he was.
Why'd you tell him about the girl loving me?
Now you're just being racist now.
No, that was an impression of him. That's what
you mean your eyes all chinky.
No, I just had to rub my eye. Why are you making fun of me?
I want to talk about that. I had a substitute teacher. I went to a black school, believe it or not. So I was in 7th grade, so 2000. This isn't racist. This is true, you liberal
this
fuck.
just keeps going on.
You're
It
fucking
just-
liberal, man. You're
so cool.
You're so far left, man. Listen. So I had this Japanese teacher trying to teach a bunch of black kids. So we were playing cards, and one of the white kids
Playing spades, I'm guessing.
Yes, there you go. And the white kids kept, this white kid called Mr. Miyagi. And at first he didn't care. And he was like, Mr. Miyagi. And the friend goes, I heard about the Mr. Miyagi! And they started laughing. And then one of the black kids took his coat and threw it out the window. And it landed on a tree. And it was really fucked up, and we laughed. And he was trying to, it's just like the movie, Michelle Pfeiffer, they try to teach the black kids. That's not Stand and Deliver.
No, Beautiful Mind.
Yeah, Beautiful Minds. When she goes to the black school, tries to turn around. That only happens in the movies. You can't turn these animals around. Now,
That's getting
That's the movie with
As I
the
walk through
Coolio.
Yeah, where it's like as I walk through the valley
Valley of
where I
shadows.
harvest my grain, I take a look at my wife. and
now you're singing
realize-
Amish
that's
Paradise.
Amish
Paradise.
That's just perfect for an Amish. Oh, yes,
We
I
should
have.
best things they first now. Phil's got to get back to his wife.
No, I was just partying.
Oh, there's nothing wrong. Oh,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
didn't
the
make
wife
any
don't
noise.
allow that. Another reason, MGTOW.
MGTOW, bros.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can fart as much as you want here, bro.
What?
What isn't that? Is that like the modern version of a guy being like, "Fuck it, I'm going in the woods and like living
Yeah,
in a cabin"?
yeah.
No,
Some of those guys consider themselves-
No, they'll be like, fuck it, I got Call of Duty right here, I'm with my bros, and then they don't actually go out, and then that's why
You don't know
they
anything
go
about it.
shooting people.
You don't know anything
if-
about
if
it.
you want to do like
You're
a
a
comedy
feminist.
parody of it, it's No Ma'am from the old Married with Children Al Bundy.
Got it.
Like,
No, it's not. Some of the guys consider themselves
Fair
monks.
enough,
They do go out to the woods and they
Yeah.
do
Oh, yeah,
isolate
but
themselves as
that's-
guys.
but then how
You got
are
a
they
problem
on-
with it,
how
bro.
are they online?
You got a
saying,
vasectomy, pal.
Yeah, so I can broad
You can cream pie all you want. Little cream pie fits.
So
That's what I call
you're
it.
like you're trans now.
Pretty much.
just cut it off. I'm like, hey, I don't want to get anybody pregnant. He's like, got it. Snip. It's
No,
all-
I'm not a
another,
man anymore.
another comic that I wish
How long
was.
does it take for you to recover from that?
like 3 days.
3 days. Damn, that's like a cold sore.
One of the comics that I wish was here was Andy Burbick because he had a real problem with it. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Andy
well,
Burbick.
same with my.
Why would you do that?
My sister's bodybuilder fiance was like, oh.
The cookie
you're
doesn't
gonna
taste the
be-
same anymore.
I mean, yeah, it varies for different people. Like my sister's bodybuilder fiance was like, oh, you're in for. I was out for a week, and then it was like.
I had to fuck your sister in the ass. I couldn't even put it in her pussy.
Yeah.
Now, what do you
Sorry.
mean when you say fully recovered? Like what? Just not having pain or being able to
Oh,
sexually function? What
Well,
is
it's,
evil?
well, it's they cut open your balls to go in that way and stuff. So your balls look like Grimace. They are just a big purple
Nice.
thing, and then
Sexy, yeah.
yeah, your sack's held back together with crazy glue because they can't do like there's a little bit
I
of stitches,
love crazy glue.
but yeah, like
I
it's
love sex.
yeah. But
Together,
yeah,
great story.
It's
Glue my
you
balls
just
back together.
it's just super bruised and stuff and tender.
Right.
So you really have to have off the next day at least, possibly 2. But within 3 days, it's just like it still looks purple and terrible for like
So you say purple, like African American purple.
no like purple like the Grimace from Ronald McDonald. Like it is like the color purple. And well,
I love that
well, that's
movie.
I guess again though that is
Oprah.
different though on a white person and stuff like so.
Yeah.
It turns to purple. But anyway, yeah, you end up they give you a shitload of painkillers and I didn't even need to use many of them. So
And you don't even need to fake an injury. You just go in, I need a
no,
little
because
snip.
it's part of
Have some
preventive.
perks.
If you have insurance, it should be covered under preventive medicine because it's preventing a lot of expensive stuff down the
Like a
line.
cleaning.
Yeah, I was a fan of that, but then I found out it's technically. Never mind, can't think of the right word.
Pulling out.
Sterilizing people. That was
Okay, yeah.
Like, when I thought about it, they were like, wait, that's sterilizing a group. I think that's called eugenics.
Yep, eugenics.
Yeah,
Well,
I didn't know that's
when it's
what I was into.
That's when it's involuntary. Like that was
Yeah,
That they
yeah.
they still do. Well, they really did it pretty recently, still in Georgia, where if somebody was claiming welfare on like a second child, they're like, okay, if you want to get welfare benefits for your child, like you now have to be sterilized. You can't have anymore.
I thought I made that up. I didn't know.
No, that is legit. A lot of those states had that even until like 2014. Georgia, I think, was the most recent. But yeah, that's when it's eugenics. But when I'm like, yo, I don't want any responsibility. I never want to be on Maury Povich, and I have insurance, then it's just for fun, for cream pies like Jeff. So.
There you go. And I said, he's MGTOW. He's more MGTOW. He doesn't want to pass down his genes. That's good. That's part of being a MGTOW, bro. Let the world die. Cut off all humanity. The only way humanity is going to happen is if men and women keep fucking and keep making kids. Cut it all off.
I'm just waiting for the Japanese robots to progress.
There you go.
Tectonics.
Sex robots.
It's a real field of robotics.
I want them to make a robot of Janae Rice so I can just punch it and just make love to it.
Alright.
Well, listen, I think we should end it there. We could just do a short segment. We could go longer, but why should we do that? We're not getting paid for this. Not to say that's what it's all about, because we're all here to, okay. But listen, it's been I wouldn't say it's been a long night. It was a very short show.
Hold on. What? How do you do that?
Come inside the cooter.
There. And then
Put your.
Look, kids, this is how you do it.
Wait, no, that's not. Oh, you do. Oh, the two guys. You need two people to do it. I do the vertical. You do the horizontal.
Oh.
And then you open up and look at that.
Whoa!
Look at that big.
Whoa! Look at that. You know, if only you guys could see this, you need a friend.
Yeah.
I'm by myself and I'm doing it.
Bring out the
No,
cookies.
that's just doing that weird.
Right,
hand
he
trick,
he
but
couldn't do it.
When you want to do the.
No, he couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it. You do it.
Yeah.
That thing there.
Hey, look at that, ladies.
Whoa.
You can't do that?
I just don't want to. No, I do.
All right, guys.
I don't want
The
to.
great, and I think that was a better ending than my racism. So,
Alright.
John,
Hedonist John.
Hedonist John on YouTube, he has 40-something subscribers. Let's get that up to 45.
Are you godless or are you a heathen?
My YouTube channel is called Hedonist John, and I eat a lot, I drink a lot, and now I got a PS4, so I'm streaming a lot.
Ooh, that's
Awesome.
that's very
I
hedonistic.
support
I
live
like
streaming.
that.
And of course, Will Fitz, he doesn't have anything to plug. He going to be at the Roast of Santa next Saturday?
I don't know. 3 people dropped out. So
Yeah! I'm only laughing because they took me off the second year. I wasn't a part of the first one. I didn't want to do it. Bought a Frosty the Snowman costume for $30, which I didn't have to. I was stupid. I could have returned it. Did the show, and then I said, cunt. And nopody said nothing. Nobody cared, but I think the manager probably heard about it. And then they want me on the second one. And then now the people are dropping out. That's mean. They're supposed to be friends of ours, but I don't know. But I'm an asshole. But anyways, Bill, you're doing a podcast, right?
No, I'm not doing shit. You can follow me on Instagram.
What's the handle?
Oh, why? It's Bill Miller's Dick.
Bill Miller's Dick on Instagram and Twitter.
And you can find out whatever I'm doing.
That's
on
right.
That.
He has a monthly open mic. The Andalusian Bar and Grill. It should be next Friday. Is that right?
It is next Friday.
Next
Holy
Friday,
shit.
the Andalusian BA. It's 8 minutes from here, guys.
It's sneaking up.
8 minutes from here. It's a great show. Projectors being added to the show to add animations and
Illusions and
to the sets.
Yeah, it's real trippy.
Distracting when you're up there, but that's my excuse for not having a good set. That's my fault.
It's okay.
I didn't plan
You
it.
have the big drink.
Yeah, I didn't plan a set either because I wanted to wing it. But listen,
That's a good place to wing it.
we gotta put this room back together. I'd say it will take a long time, but we're gonna try to. I'm gonna try to do more of these JoshCast lives. God damn it! And that's it. So if you like racism, if you like MGTOW, if you like far right, well, they don't want to be associated with me. I'm talking about for myself speaking. These people who are just here. Then you might like this stuff, and if you're not like that, then you might be a right. So thank you, and I'll see you. Whoa. JoshCast, thank you.